Hey guys, it's Jason with the Boardgame Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a game called Factory Floor. Factory Floor is a game for 1 to 4 players from Space Duck Games. Plays in about 20 to 40 minutes. I don't know. I hate saying time because people play different speeds, but the box says 20 minutes. I think if you're playing a 4-player game, it's probably going to be about 35 or 40. And what you're doing in this game is you are drafting different types of rooms, polyomino shaped tile rooms, to put them on your factory to make the best factory layout. Meaning staff rooms are close to production rooms. You got some quality control to each production room so they can make sure that everything's running smoothly. Maybe some few occasional storehouses because you gotta have a place to put some stuff. You're trying to get all this beautiful layout, and you're also trying to have non-empty tiles on your board at the end of the game. So that's enough talking about it. Let's go to the table, check it out. All right, so here's a game of Factory Floor, all set up for 2 players. To set up, you're gonna put the main board in the middle. This is where you're gonna be keeping track of the score and the shifts throughout the game. You're going to put all the storerooms off to the side of the board. These are rooms that you can take as one of your options. You're going to form the labor pool in a 2-player game, 24 workers. You're going to give each player a score marker. So I've done that. I got the green and the purple. So green and purple. I think it's the color of the door, so that's how I'm kind of rolling with it. Put the shift marker on Monday AM, and then draw 4 tiles plus 2 per player. So in a 2-player game, 8 tiles. So now let's talk about the game. So what this game is you are trying to use these polyomino tiles to create the most efficient factory floor that you can. And there are 3 types of tiles. So let's go ahead and talk about the tiles. There's a staff room, which is going to hold some workers to be able to move them into a production room, which has spaces for workers and maybe some base points, even if you don't have workers. And there's also a quality control room, which is pink, which is going to, at the end of the game, make all of your production rooms fire off for scoring again. And I've shown you the storeroom. That's the little 2 square room here. They don't do anything except help you fill in your board, and if you can get them completely surrounded, they're worth a point. Every space that you can't fill up on your board at the end of the game is negative points. You're going to get points at the end of the game for whoever has the most workers, whoever has the most production buildings, most quality control buildings, and the most, I'm not sure what that one is. One other thing. Let me see. Largest staff room, largest quality control room, most workers on their board, and the most production tiles. So that's the points right there. All right, so let's go ahead and start playing. So this player's first player, they have the marker. What you're gonna do in your turn, you have 1 of 4 options. You can place a tile. So I can draft a tile, put it on my board. So I say I take this tile. Now let's just go ahead and get started. So I'll take this tile. When I place this on my board, if it's a staff tile, I then get to take 2 workers, put it on the tile immediately. Each staff tile can hold 2 workers. That's my turn. That's the first action I can take. Second action I can take is if this tile was empty because I moved them into production, I could take the appropriate number of workers to fill up my room. Second action. Third action, I can spin the worker to be able to discard or rearrange a tile on my board. So I could take this tile off, take another tile from the pool to try to make a better factory floor. Fourth action, probably not the best action to do. Pass your turn. So that's it. So the turn order goes in snake fashion. So this player will go, this player will go, this player will go, this player will go. So now this player is going to take 2 turns. They're going to take some tiles as well because you got to get some tiles to get started. So let's do, I'm going to take this one. Put it right there. I'm terrible at these games. So there's that. Probably terrible movement. I just want to show you how to play. Then I'm also going to take this one. Not worth any points, but if I can get some workers in it, that will be pretty slick. So that's both their actions. Then back to this player. This is all for the AM shift on Monday. And they're going to get, they need to get a factory as well up in here. Or a production tile, so they'll take that. All right, so that was AM. Then we're going to go to the PM shift. Same thing, except it switches first player order. All the tiles that we didn't use go back into the draw bag. Then we're going to redraw 8. Hopefully I don't draw the same ones. I have a tendency to do that, so if so, sorry. There's 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. So this player's first. They get to take an action. I think I'm going to take... I really want to get a production room. So let's get some quality control here. So that's their turn. This player, they're going to do the same, and they're going to put it right here because they want to be able to get another production tile at the end, because everything that this is adjacent to will score some extra points at the end of the game. So this one's going to run again at the end of the game. Then it's their turn again. And I think I'm going to take another production tile. That feels like the thing to do. So let's do it. Now, staff rooms can only feed workers into production tiles that they're touching. So both of these workers could go to this production room or this production room. And then back to the other player, and they're going to... I think I'm going to get another production room, or staff room, because I need to get more production. All right, so they'll put that there, and I'll take two workers. All right, so that's the end of the PM shift for Monday. Then we'll go to PR. PR is how you're going to score some points. So what you're going to do on PR is you're going to move any workers that you have in a staff room to an adjacent production building that's touching it. So in this case, these 2 workers can go to this building. These cannot go anywhere because they're not touching a building. Same with this. This player can put them anywhere. It doesn't really matter. Let's just go ahead and put them there for now. All right. Then you're going to score your buildings. Some of the production tiles. Some of the production tiles have base points. So this one's worth 4 even without workers. This one's worth 4 even without workers. But with a worker, it's 1 extra point. So this would be 8, 10 points for purple. And then this player, it's not worth any base points, so they're only going to get 2. And that's PR. Then you're going to go to Tuesday, AM, slide this over, do it all over again. So you put the tiles back in the bag and keep going. At the end of Friday, PR, you're going to add up all your points, do the quality control rooms. It's going to fire off all these rooms that are touching them, add those points, do the in-game points. Whoever has the most points is the winner. There's also an advanced variant that gives you some columns tiles that you can throw on the board. Everybody's going to do the same. There'll be 4 or 2 based on the number of players. You can put it anywhere you want. It's just going to be obstacles to build around on your board. And like I said earlier, any tile, any space that's open on your board is a negative point. So if this is how the game ended, that would be terrible because that would be a whole pile of negative points. You don't want to do that. So that is Factory Floor. Let's go up to the top, see what you think about it. All right, well, that was Factory Floor. First off, like I've said many, many times, I'm not a polyomino guy. I don't play a ton of those games. I've played Tetris on video games because I like that one. But when it comes to board games, it's not particularly my jam. But this one may make me a believer. So this is a really simple game. On your turn, you're going to do one of the 4 actions that I explained. Draft a tile, draft workers to put in a staff room if it's empty, or to fill it up to maximum capacity. Draft, spin a worker to rearrange your floor, or discard a tile that you don't want, or pass. That's it. You're just trying to be efficient and score the most points. Easy. Not a lot of thinking here. I mean, there's some thinking with where you're placing things, but it's not like, you know, I'm not stressing out about it because at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to place a bunch of tiles. The only thing I'm trying to not do is have a bunch of empty spaces. So that's cool. Another thing I want to say is everything you saw on the video was a prototype. The boards are really thin. All the tokens are just like punched out cardboard, really thin cardboard. So I'm not going to talk about the components. I like the art of the tiles, but again, I'm not sure if it's all going to be final or necessarily any of that. So what you saw here could look different, but I believe the gameplay will be the same. So yes, when you get it, it'll probably look way better, but it's going to play the same. So there is that. So let's talk about this game. This is like I said earlier, this is a polyomino game. It's fun. It's easy to teach. It's easy to play. I've only played it at 2. It plays the same. You're just going to have more workers and it's going to take longer. And there might be more competition for some of the tiles. But outside of that, it's going to play the same. There's no special rules for extra players or anything. So what you saw here, you can translate that to 3 or 4 players. I haven't played solo. There's a special rule book for solo, but I haven't done any of that. And I haven't played the advanced with the columns because I'm not good at polyomino games anyway, so I didn't want to throw that in there and just make myself look like a moron. So, but if that's your jam, it's in there. They're just single tiles. They go on the board. They clog it up, make it harder to place tiles efficiently. So that's kind of what you're doing. So yeah, I really like this game. It's on Kickstarter. When I post this video, there'll be about a day left on Kickstarter. I'm a little late to the party here, but I'll put a link to the project in the video description. So if this looks interesting to you, you can go check it out. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 3.5 out of 5 on an arbitrary wrench scale. That means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy. So that's what I'm going to do. So that was Factory Floor from Space Duck Games. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics. And as always, keep gaming.